This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Coors Light Hockey Night returns this Saturday. You can join me, Brandon Molesky, at 5-Hole Sports Bar in Minneapolis from 6 to 8 p.m.
What's the name of the place again?
5-Hole Sports Bar.
Okay. 6
to 8 p.m. Saturday night. You can catch Minnesota take on Philadelphia. Enjoy ice-cold Coors Light and play trivia for your chance to win great prizes, including sweet tickets, that's S-U-I-T-E, to a game in January. Get the full details now at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Do they have a website or phone number? You got a piece of paper? I like to be prepared.
Well, you can get more info at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
And what's the name of the place again?
5-Hole Sports Bar in Minneapolis, 6 to 8 p.m. Saturday night.
Sweet.
I've already come up with the trivia questions.
Oh,
so.
Okay, very good. Not 1990s hip-hop trivia, I hope.
All hockey related.
Oh, very good. I like it. We're going to do probably a truncated version of 5-3-4 because the head coach of the soon-to-be Big Game World Champion Minnesota Vikings scheduled for his midweek news conference live from TCO Performance Center, the new Winter Park, at about 1:20. So let's dive into it. A little 5-3-4.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1.
Time now for an in-depth look at the state of hockey.
Where? In the state of hockey. I get goosebumps every time I hear that. Either that or I'm coming down with something.
Well, not state of cocky because they did not win last night. They lost 5-2 in Dallas to the Stars. Stars goalie Jake Ottinger, one of us, he made 39 saves. He still hasn't lost to the Wild in regulation in his career. He's now 8-0-3 against the Wild. Kirill Kaprizov had a goal and an assist, and his 9 points are tied for most in the NHL. Common, what sticks out to you from last night's loss in the Big D?
I don't know. I guess everything you just pointed out. I don't know what to make. I would defer to you. I go with the theory that you had that, we got Kirill, we've got some other players we still need to fortify in certain areas, and we're missing a couple of players that are expected to contribute a lot. Who are we missing again now?
Zuccarello.
Yeah, Zook.
And Nico Sturm.
Yeah, exactly. And I think didn't Zooks and Kirill play on the same line?
Most times, yes.
Most times. So again, you had said,
at the very least, it puts players in roles they shouldn't be in, right?
Yes.
You got a third line player now on the second line and a fourth line player on the third line.
And I think most people felt that they were a fringe playoff team. They could make the playoffs, but it wasn't like they're going to be the number 1 seed overall. But then, as you have said a couple of times, till Kirill got injured last year, we were one of the best teams in hockey. So I don't know. I really don't know what to make of the team. I think it's sort of like, I think NBA and NHL and even Major League Baseball is kind of the same, where it takes more than a couple of games or a week of games in order to really get anything figured out. So I don't know what to make. What do you think about what happened?
I mean, there are lots of good things to take out of it. I mean, one is Kirill Kaprizov and Matt Boldy look like absolute superstars. We already knew that about Kirill.
Right.
But even he's gotten off to slow starts in the past. The power play is outrageous. Both their goals again last night were on the power play. I think the one panic right now I'm sensing from Wild fans just on social media is they're concerned about the lack, or I even saw it in the Star Tribune today, just concerned about the lack of 5-on-5 goals. I think we need, it's 4 games. Like stuff like this happens in small little samples. I wouldn't expect them to be a great 5-on-5 team just because they don't have a lot of scoring depth after Kaprizov and Boldy to begin with. And then the injuries you mentioned. But to act like they're going to struggle to this rate all season long, just as it would be as preposterous to expect the Wild power play to click at 47% all year, right? Like, that's not going to happen. They're also not going to be as bad 5-on-5 as they've been all season long. And I wouldn't even say they've been bad 5-on-5. They just haven't finished. They've created chances. They are drawing penalties. They're drawing a ton of penalties, which is why they're on the power play so much and why they're scoring on the power play. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be great 5-on-5 just because they don't have the depth to do it. But we already knew that 2 weeks ago. Like, nothing has changed. I've said from the get-go that I think you need Kaprizov and Boldy to stay healthy. And you need the team to be in the mix to the point where they can be buyers come trade deadline.
Right.
And previously, we haven't been able to buy at that time.
Because we had no money because of Parisi Suter.
If you're expecting an extended playoff run this year, to me, that's the blueprint to do it.
Right.
And at the very least, Kaprizov and Boldy are playing the way we need them to play. And the power play has been absolutely elite. And a power play that good eventually is going to change the way teams have to play a 5-on-5 because they're not going to be drawn and they can't be as aggressive and committing as many penalties if they know it's going to bite them every time.
I think you summed it up quite well. Wish I'd had my lunch already, but I'm a little behind. I think I'll eat during the Kevin O'Connell.
I'm surprised you don't eat during Rock Talk. O can talk plenty for you.
Yeah, well, there's no question about that.
Question number 2.
It's now time to take an in-depth look at the welfare of the Wolves.
Jim Suhan had a column in the Star Tribune today titled, "Could Timberwolves trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo? Don't put anything past Tim Connolly." Common, would you like to see the Wolves trade for Giannis?
Oh, sure. I don't know where. He's top 5, top 10 player in the NBA, right? So I don't know how you wouldn't. If you can add talent like that, I just don't, because I don't have a real good handle on the salary cap and, luxury tax and second level or second apron or whatever they call it. I don't even know how it's possible. But, it would be, I don't know how you could argue with that. Anytime, so a number of teams, look at, there have been a number of teams that have won NBA championships, and they usually have gone out and acquired a third kind of a player, a third wheel. When you look at the Wolves, you've got Anthony Edwards, and after that, I don't know, do you have another guy that you go, Julius Randle is a really good player, and Rudy Gobert's a really good player, and we have some really good players, but you don't have, but you don't have like a
Pippen to your Jordan.
Right, exactly.
A Kobe to your Shaq.
And not just that, but a third one, too, like, when Durangelo went to Golden State, well, you had all sorts of players. And so sometimes you need more than just 2 players. But, if they could get Antetokounmpo, I'd love it. Did he go in depth? Did you read it? How does he?
I did read the column.
And does he?
The clickbait worked. I clicked on it.
Okay.
I don't know how much Giannis even wants to be gone.
Right. Well,
and I don't know if we have enough to be able to get, I would assume there's somebody else out there that's going to be able to give. Well, we don't have half our draft picks for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Well, I thought Antetokounmpo is basically, and I've been just, I'm not paying as close attention to the NBA as it once did. I think he's hinted that he would leave. He wouldn't mind going somewhere else, but then he came out a day or 2 ago and said something. Oh no, I still want to win here and can win here. So I think he's like a lot of those guys. Sometimes they think I've been here long enough. It's time to find. I just want a different situation or greener pastures. I don't know, but I'd love to.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 Questions. Well, actually, 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
Dennis got a keyword and then the head coach at about 1:20 live from Winter Park.
Yeah, the fan and 2 men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword BILLS at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. The keyword is BILLS. Enter now. KFAN.com.
So play.
It's McCartney Madness all week long on KFAN. We've got your shot at tickets to see Sir Paul McCartney this Friday at US Bank Stadium. To enter, send us a talkback using the iHeartRadio app and tell us your top 3 favorite Paul McCartney songs. From the Beatles to Wings to his solo work, we want to hear your favorite hits. Winners will be chosen all week long. Get the full details now at KFAN.com. Keyword contest.
Ready to go? not?
Not yet.
Well, then, you know what? We got some time to kill. Halloween is right around the corner tonight. A lot of people like Halloween costume parties and are always looking for something fresh, new, fun, and exciting. So I have some ideas here for you, including dress up like Kevin O'Connell and go trick-or-treating on November 1st. You get it? He's always late.
Got it.
I'm going to have 3 people walk about 20 feet ahead of me and go as deuce in the spread swing standings. I'm going to wear a Gophers hoodie, go to the airport, get a great parking spot, have a Crown Royal, then fly to Omaha, trick-or-treat there, and go as Justin Guard. And why would you? Fly the friendly sky. So there are some Halloween costume ideas for you. We accept them. Comment at KFAN.com. Comment at KFAN.com. Then when I get home in the evenings, I'll peruse them. We won't have any. You can go. Oh, okay, I guess I can just stop it. There will be no Halloween costumes for the next couple of days, unless 10 to B you want to pick up on the bid. 10 to B will be in tomorrow. I'm taking a couple of days off.
I'll save them for you.
Baby brother Peter has fall break. He's flying back into town tonight, and he and I and his buddy Jay and a couple of other people throughout the next couple of days, we're going to do some knockdown, punch, cut, fade draws. I don't get to play enough golf, 10 to B, so I'm going to do a couple of 36-hole days because I just don't play often enough. We're going to play 36 tomorrow. And then 36 on Friday. So 10 to B will be in, the 10 of Fitzgerald. And you have Pete Bursich scheduled for Friday. You're going to do hip-hop trivia? No, you're doing hockey trivia at your appearance at, what's the name of the place again?
5 Hole Sports Bar.
That's right, 5 Hole Sports Bar. What else do you have going on? Well, Lil B will be in. Is that correct or not?
I haven't completely confirmed with her, but yes, I haven't even. I don't even know if we're going to do Password Friday.
Why?
Because basically, like, Blakemore is the only one. I mean, I could get, I guess, if I can get 3 guests.
Yeah.
Like, it becomes a challenge.
Yeah, all right. I get that. So maybe
I don't know if Devin's ready to be hosting Password yet.
Yeah. Well, there's that. So, I'm sure you have a few other tricks up your sleeve.
Not yet, but we'll figure it out.
I get so people are actually, I think, getting angry with me, and maybe you by affiliation, guilty by association, of thinking it's not that bad of an idea to start Carson Wentz. And I guess maybe I'm not also explaining myself very well. It's not what we think. It's what the coach and the coaching staff thinks. And I do believe, they believe that J.J. McCarthy is the future franchise quarterback here, but do you think the coaching staff saw what the rest of us saw in those first 2 games? And they're a team that's built to win now. They're 3-2. I don't know why it's so hard for people to and maybe the coach will surprise us and make an announcement in his news conference coming up that J.J. McCarthy will start this coming Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. And if he does, then I'll say, well, maybe they think they can that they can coach him up and they want to do what the rest of the fans think. What I'm hearing from people is, I don't mind giving up on this season. We need to see what we've got. So if you just want to watch a quarterback develop for the next year, that's fine. I'd rather win some football games, and I think the team would rather win too. I think they would, and I think they'll go with whoever they think gives them
I'll say it
the best
again.
chance to win.
Starting Carson Wentz against the Eagles does not necessarily prevent you from seeing what J.J. McCarthy's got this year.
Correct.
Like, we are not committing to Carson Wentz for the entire season. We are committing to Carson Wentz for Sunday. We see how it goes. If Carson keeps playing well and the team keeps winning, well, then at that point you are showing that you are a team that can win, that can go to the playoffs and potentially win the big, right? If he's doing well and the team's winning, that would counteract the argument to not playing him.
I've never wanted the Vikings to win a big game more than I do this year with Carson Wentz at quarterback. I would just love to see it. So all these people that have given up on the season and want to see him. It's funny how, as a fan, you're willing to give up on a season. It's their livelihoods, the coaches, the players.
Guys are laying it on the line.
Yeah, the guys are in the training room. It's bandwagon is what it is. And so, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how long O'Connell will go on. I don't even know when he's going to start. But there was another topic.
The other day he was actually early. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
This is more like the KOC I'm used to.
This is the KOC we've come to know and loathe. I mean, know and love. What was I going to say? Oh, last night, and I got home, it was about 10:30. No, quoting from another song. I watched, I'm not going to suggest I watched it start to end, but the Yoshinobu, is that how you say his first name? Yamamoto for the Dodgers.
Can we just call him the Greek kid?
We can call him the Greek kid. He threw a 3-hitter.
Complete game.
So in other words, if you pitch and play defense, you give yourself a chance to win. And I get it. The Dodgers, they got a lot of money, and a lot of that money comes from their television contract in the greater California area, and I get that. But, that's an old, tired argument. That's a pull that pocket protector argument. Well, we're just this poor little mid-market team, and we don't have any money. We all know how wealthy all Major League Baseball owners are. And I've said it before, it's going to be $1 million is like 12 seconds. $1 billion is like 32 years. People have no idea. I guess they just don't understand the difference between $1 million and $1 billion. But the Dodgers decided to put their bullpen apparently isn't very good. So what they decided to do is just put all their money into starting pitching. They have Snell, Ohtani, and this Yamamoto character. And when the Brewers had beaten the Dodgers 6 times this year, they were 6-0 against them, but they're just no match when these pitchers are spot on. Apparently Yamamoto, I caught the game later and watched a couple of innings. I think he gave the first player he faced. Did I see that right? Did he give up a home run to the first player? And then after that, he only gave up 2 more hits the entire game. The game before, Blake Snell went 8 innings, giving up just 1 hit, even though the Brewers threatened in the 9th against the shaky Dodger bullpen. But that's where you need to invest your money. I mean, you need to invest it in starting pitching. And I understand the fear, the loathing, of the trepidation of Major League Baseball owners and general managers spending a lot of money on starting pitching, because it's a lot of money to pay a guy who's only working once every 5 days, right? It's not like he's an everyday player. And then, I mean, is there a pitcher pitching in Major League Baseball right now that's not had Tommy John surgery? I don't know if they exist. But there's always the injury problem, so teams kind of shy away from that and hope they can just get a guy that can go 4 innings once in a while, maybe 5, and go to your bullpen and try to outscore the other club. I'd rather just sign the best pitchers in baseball and cross my fingers and take my chances. We'll break, come back. Hopefully the coach will be ready. When we return, it's the Common Man program right here on the Fan.
Baby's crying, that's normal, but if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's okay to step away. Never shake a baby. Shaking can kill, and 1 in 4 don't survive. Survivors often face permanent brain damage. Learn more and give today at nevershakemn.com.
Location, the new Winter Park, a.k.a. TCO Performance Center. The speaker, the head coach of the soon-to-be Big Game World Champion Minnesota Vikings, Kevin O'Connell's weekly news conference.
Christian to be back to more of a full workload in the games.
Yeah, I think, last week with the high snap count coming out of the Pittsburgh game, really 2 weeks ago now, that was more of a just through the dialogue with Christian of that one individual game. But yes, I feel like he'll be in a good spot.
Where do things stand as far as your starting QB for Sunday, Kevin?
They stand in the same place they did Monday when I answered that question.
How will you handle it in practice in terms of reps and between Carson and JJ?
Yeah, they're both going to get work, both going to get reps, and very much looking forward to our whole team getting back out there.
And Kevin, has Blake Brandel earned a longer look at center, or do you want to keep him more as a reserve guard and tackle?
No, I think our goal is always, especially navigating kind of I think we're up to 14 combinations of guys. We're just trying to, as we navigate it, try to find the best 5 to have out there. And Blake certainly played as we kind of expected he would, and any of the unknowns of just the experience of running the show and kind of being in charge out there as a center were quickly answered in a really positive way. So I thought he was big, strong, handled the communication really well against a really good defense, and he's going to get the opportunity to get work this week. Jergs is back as well, and we'll go with the best 5 we can.
Kevin, what most do you want to see from JJ this week?
I think the big thing is just getting him back on the grass in uniform, practicing, getting real live reps of a pass rush and, taking drops and applying some of the things that he's worked really hard on as of late as he's kind of gotten to that phase of his rehab, applying it. And then when he does that, instant dialogue about what he's able to do and what it felt like, and, hey, let's log that away. And then if he doesn't, the same thing. It's, it's going to be, I'm having a blast kind of coaching him. It started kind of last week when he was able to really start ramping up a little bit as he gets there, and that one-on-one work, and then obviously the work he does with Josh and Jordan is going to be critical.
So on the mechanics thing too, because he has been here for a year plus now, worked in training camp and stuff. When the mechanics start to break down, is that more of an in-game thing? Because you've worked on those things before.
Yeah.
Just does the footwork sort of go astray during games, or what happened where you had to sort of go back to some of the fundamental mechanics that you've seen done well in training camp?
Yeah, I think live football and real reps of some of the things he did. It wasn't just real football, because he did some things in the Chicago game to help us win that game, demonstrating a lot of real positives. On the road in a pretty significant environment, crowd noise, first time out, a lot of really positive things, and then it kind of circles back to it was he's been here the timeline you said, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's been on the grass practicing, doing the things that help you build a layer of consistency where you can not only take it to the game with you, but then the ebbs and flows of the position, whether it's the pocket breaking down, or maybe it's once the injury happened, being firm on that back foot, and what the combination of a lot of those experiences can do to your fundamentals are a very, very normal thing for a young player. I think you can see examples of it around the whole league at a lot of different positions, not just the quarterback position, but it's obviously the easiest one for folks to be able to see kind of a plus or minus type of world that they live in, completion or not, first down or not, touchdown or not. There's a little bit more that goes into it as each, rep kind of tells its own story. So what you can do as a quarterback is hold the pen and at least control the controllables of doing your job. And I think that's where the time on task it's easy to say, like, why wasn't it like that every time he played? That was really a significant injury that he was playing through in that game, and that coupled with how the game had gone and the fact that he had about an hour and 20-minute practice on that Friday after leaving the hospital on Thursday, sleeping there and showing up here. I mean, there was a lot of variables to that one performance that I know, because he hasn't been out there, we're taking a lot of looks at probably continuously, and I understand that, but there's a bigger picture to playing quarterback and how I view the position, and yeah.
Is it more important for Carson Wentz to start against the Eagles or the Vikings?
For him to start against the Eagles or the Vikings?
Is it more important for him personally
We haven't. Yeah, I see what you're saying. We haven't really talked about that at all. I think there's, been, I don't know if he's even played them since he left Philly, but he's played for a few teams since. But, I think he's just excited about getting back on the practice field and having a chance to play this week. And, he's working through his own kind of plan for the week as well as we lead into it.
What about the Fangio defense, or this Eagles defense kind of requires the most time during the week in your game planning?
Yeah, he's really, really good football coach, has been for a long time. They've got some really talented guys on their front, really good linebackers, and I really like their young secondary. They've got a really good mixture of instincts and ball skills, and then just flat out, good football players. So he's got the tools to do what he's always done in the league, which is it's difficult to play against, variety of fronts that they can get to with the versatile pieces that they have, linebackers getting on the ball, forming 5-down, 6-down structures that require you to have a pretty good understanding of the plan and the play, but then the adjustments that have to take place amongst the players out there to find success. Because really a lot of the defense, whether it's pre-snap and some of the things that they do, stemming and moving around, it's similar to our defense in a lot of ways. But then post-snap, similar to our defense, they're changing the picture. You think it's this coverage, and it ends up being a totally different kind of structure of the defense, and that's what he's made, so many teams and defenses so successful with, and they're doing the same types of things, and we've got to have a good plan for it, and we've got to execute. We got to have really good execution on the early downs to give us a chance to have some manageable kind of situations throughout the drive, see if we can get momentum. And we've done well when we've gotten in the red zone. We've done well in the 2-minute setting. We've got to be better on third down and kind of eliminate the things we've talked about from a penalty or negative play standpoint to be able to stack positives together.
Kevin, Christian's shoulder being the left shoulder, are you confident from a physical standpoint that he'll be available to you if you need him?
Yeah, I mean, we'll work through the week, but he got some good work in Monday, at least feeling positive from a health standpoint to go through and throw as if he took a normal amount of throws. There wasn't any throws he didn't take because of it, but there's a layer of working through it, even though it's his non-throwing shoulder for sure.
I think we talked about JJ kind of trusting the mechanics and driving off the back foot. Is there a process when he's coming off that injury to kind of learn, I'm solid on this foot again? And how do you go through that with him so he's trusting you?
Yeah, even last week, some of the dialogue of, hey, I felt it here, or this type of movement made me feel it. Because this is, a unique, real injury where, sometimes the hardest part is that trust level of getting that final stage of game-like movements and feelings. So what we were able to do is kind of break it down to really start in the foundation of the base that we're looking for, and then kind of work backwards from the drop mechanics and things like that. But once, he had some real positive work, feeling that body position, and then the way he threw it, once he was able to kind of work outward from there, was really positive.
Have they changed anything they do with Saquon and why his numbers have slipped?
Well, I think obviously, he's one of the best players in the league, and you've got to. He's the starting point of what you have to try to limit from a standpoint of he doesn't just run the football well and kind of control the game. They've proven time and time again that if they have success running the football, they can time of possession, eat up clock, keep things manageable. Jalen can make a bunch of plays on third down to extend drives and give them more opportunities to run it. But it's also the explosive runs. I mean, first and 10 at your own 30, and he's crossing the goal line if you're not exactly where you need to be, fitting the run, second level players showing up, setting edges, playing the cutback. It's one of those teams where they're really good at the things that they do, and you've got to be really good at some fundamental, simple things on the chalkboard. But you got to do them, and you got to make sure that you consistently do them every play, because he can change it in a heartbeat with one touch.
Kevin, is last week with JJ the most hands-on you've been with that position since you coached it?
Yeah, just with the obligation of being the play caller, but also the head coach on normal practice days. You guys see, I like to get around all the positions, and it did feel like that in a lot of ways. Just the true one-on-one work, and then being out there with Josh and kind of being able to just kind of give real-time feedback after every throw, even before throws of, hey, see how your foot's here, and cite some plays that we had watched together, or things where maybe we were overextended, or maybe we were, allowing kind of what was happening maybe in front of him on certain plays, to kind of subconsciously have him extending some drops and reaching, and with every reach there has to be an equal and opposite commitment to come back to balance, to be accurate. And he's an accurate passer, and what I have learned about him is when he plays with that, ideal base, balance, and body position, you're gonna see the ball come out with a lot of revolutions, and it's gonna go where he wants it to go. So, but to answer your question, it did feel like that, and definitely something I want to try to continue to do while wearing a few hats. So, thank you.
Is that it already?
That's it.
Oh, that ended quick. Nice to see you again.
All right.
Yeah. I was in a conversation off air with Ron Johnson. No! Talking a little this, that, lat. We were talking quarterback controversy. It's on the minds of everybody.
Yeah.
Apparently, and the head coach doesn't want to talk about it anymore. That's
unusually short.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. He was very short with his answer, and he. You could tell he's annoyed by it. He doesn't want to talk about it anymore at all. He basically, because I don't know who it was the second question said, so who's going to start at quarterback? And he said, it's the same answer I gave you Monday. And that was it. And then nobody, I guess he's not going to say, I was going to say nobody tried to, come at it from a different angle, but I guess there's no need to, because I don't think he wants to say, I don't know if it's, it could be for myriad reasons. There's always, I was just talking to Ron about it. Does it really affect the preparation of the other team if the Eagles are going, don't know if it's going to be Carson Wentz or J.J. McCarthy, and if that throws a wrench into their plan, or do they just say, well, if it's McCarthy, we'll blitz him a lot more. If it's Wentz, we've got to be a bit more careful because he's a veteran. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know if the other team, knowing who's going to start at quarterback, if they know ahead of time, if that will allow them to better prepare for who it is. I would think Philadelphia would be licking their chops if it was J.J. McCarthy. They've seen what he's done the first two times, but he's been simply awful. He had one great quarter, won the NFC Offensive Player. Otherwise, he's been off. My guess is Philadelphia, coming off of two losses in a row, would love nothing better than to see a kid who's only started 2 games in the NFL. His last outing was simply awful, and he's coming off an ankle injury. I'm sure they would love to see him. Not to say that they're afraid of Carson Wentz.
I don't think they're chattering their teeth over either.
Either one. But I'm not saying teeth chatter. Yeah. I'm just saying if you had your choice, who would you rather play this week, McCarthy or Wentz? If I'm on the other team, I'd rather go with the rookie because we can rattle him a lot easier than we can a Carson Wentz. But I don't know if the coach. I don't know if he does know who he's going to start. Because we don't know. All we know is they handpicked McCarthy to be their franchise quarterback. They went into this season. They said no to Darnold, no to Dimes, no to Rodgers. He was going to be. They were going to play him at quarterback and let him learn on the job, like you've seen him do with Caleb Williams, with Drake May and Jaden Daniels, and going back for years and years and years. But after you saw the first 2 performances, and you did spend a lot of money on the interior of both lines, you're coming off a 14-3 season. A lot of the fans are just, well, I'm ready to write this season off. We're not going anywhere. Well, that's not what they're thinking. How the fans look at a game or look at a season or whatever or a team is completely different than people inside the organization. And I think when they look at the standings and go, we're 3-2, we haven't played our best football yet. We've had all sorts of people injured. Got some more people coming back. It's playing Philadelphia. The kid's just coming back from let's run Wentz out there again and see what happens. And if Wentz is awful in the first half, let's say he's terrible, you can always put McCarthy in. I know I've gone back and forth, and so I don't know what they want. I think they would love to play McCarthy, but I think they feel like that might not be the best idea at this given moment in time where the team is at. That's what I think, but I don't know. It could be they're not saying anything. McCarthy's going to start on Sunday, and we'll see how it goes. Or it could be they do want to wait one more week and just see what happens. Because teams want to win. And I know the coach believes he's a quarterback whisperer. That's why they decided to go with McCarthy. But could they have expected McCarthy to be as bad as he was for those 2 weeks? I know we've talked about this too, and this doesn't mean he can't be a good quarterback. But I think there's been a lot of disagreement with people when people would against Michigan, when he played for Michigan, it wasn't a pass-happy team. Now, he had to make throws, and he did this and he did that, and that, but in the NFL, it's much more pass-oriented than it is running game, and maybe he's still acclimating himself to that part of the game more, because it seems like most of the time when he threw at Michigan, it was the other team was expecting a run because their running game was so powerful, so that helps. And when you're in the pros and you don't have...
The throws are easier at the college level.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
When you have Michigan receivers with the Michigan offensive line against, Purdue and Minnesota.
Right, exactly.
Players are open more. You have more time to make the throw. The defenses aren't as complicated.
That is correct. So
there's a level of adjustment.
Yes.
And I get that's people's argument for, we got to see what we got, because you want to give him that time to be able to learn how to play against those defenses. I just don't think you need to do it on October 15th.
Yeah.
Maybe October 24th or whatever.
And really deep down, I shouldn't admit this, working at the All Sports station, especially the audio home of the Minnesota Vikings, I really don't care which way they go. I don't. I mean, I think, people have said we're not going to win a big game this year. Well, yeah, I mean, guess what? 31 teams will not win it. So your odds are pretty good to say they're not going to win. It's not like
you're most likely going to be right.
Whoa, what a bold and brash prediction. I think all of us thought they were going all the way. But as seasons progress, I mean, for instance, now Kansas City is a much different pedigree, but people were writing that club off. I was thinking maybe they weren't as good as they were. And then what you see they've done the past couple of weeks, or what they did against Detroit, and how they held a team that was averaging 35 points a game to 17, and they were able to stop. And defensively, Detroit had no answers for Kansas City. Now I just saw a blurb up on ESPN. One of their football experts, the tease on the bottom of the screen was Chiefs will be the top seed in the AFC again. Okay, it's really not going out on a limb from what I saw on this past, was it Sunday night? Was it a Sunday night game or Monday night game? Which one was the last?
Sunday night.
Sunday night game. So things change in a hurry from week to week in the league. We'll take a break. We'll come back. The legendary Mark Rosen joins us next here on the Common Man program on the Fan.